Hello, I am a floating head. What I'm going to be doing today is teaching you how to practice, because one thing I know everyone wants to do is just play the game and just play and win and get better and learn matchups and stuff like that. But playing one-player practice is very important. I know I made a video about this in Smash 4 a long time ago and people said it was really fun for them, so I want to give you some advice on how to get better by yourself, because you can't always rely with consistent online connections. If your online's even working, depends on where you are in terms of like your region, if there's locals and stuff like that. So playing by yourself is very important. But before we get into today's video, I want to thank the sponsor of the video, ExpressVPN. It has never been easier to protect your data with ExpressVPN. It is so easy to run. All you do is click open ExpressVPN and then click connect, and you are done. Big tech companies will use what you search and what you look up as a way to sell your data to others, and ExpressVPN helps inhibit that. ExpressVPN blocks your ISP from seeing what you're doing by encrypting your data and rerouting your internet connection through a secure server, so you never have to worry about anything like that ever again. And especially during these times when a ton of people are working at home, ExpressVPN just makes sure all of your data, whether it's your personal data or your work data, is secure. And not only that, but ExpressVPN allows you to connect to a server from a different country so you can actually unlock region-locked content, such as RuPaul's Drag Race, which was only available in the UK Netflix, so you can just connect to the UK server and then bam, your content is right there ready for you to watch. So if you want to check out the highest rated VPN from a ton of tech sites and you want to see how you can get 3 months for free, go to expressvpn.com/ESAM or scroll down below and hit the link in the description. Once again, that is expressvpn.com/ESAM. And again, thank you for ExpressVPN for sponsoring this video, but let's get back to it. And while I do have the training mode mod pack and different things to help me train, not everyone has access to those, so I'm just using vanilla ultimate and I'm going to be teaching you what to do. So first off, you gotta learn your tech. If you aren't consistent at doing things with your hands without thinking about them, that's a problem. So if I want to do an instant reverse back air, I do it every single time. Every single time. Literally every time. Because I've just practiced it, right? And then, you know, I just do this for the edge guarding's sake, just because whatever. And I practice, and I do it faster, and faster, and faster. And then I mess up sometimes, because you're gonna mess up sometimes. Of course, there is obviously, you can learn about the techniques in other YouTube videos, like you can learn the details of attack canceling and instant reverse aerialing and roaring and stuff like that. But yeah, just remember just to practice them, you know? Practice your movement. A big thing, obviously for Pikachu in particular, because it isn't super easy, is practicing your recovery. Like being comfortable with your character is just super important, and being comfortable on the ground, in neutral, in advantage, and in disadvantage are all equally important, in my opinion. Like you should practice your combos, and obviously training mode isn't super good for practicing combos, but just like general things, right? Because like the combo counter still kind of exists, even though, whatchamacallit, it's a little too harsh sometimes. That was on purpose, by the way. And just learning how your moves work. I'm also going to be doing, just for y'all, so you're aware, I'm going to be doing a specific video about frame data, so I'm not really going to go over it here. So like the important things about frame data, how to learn what it means, basically. You just got to get comfortable and learn what resources your character has. Of course, I love playing on FD because, you know, it's just a preferred stage of mine, so I oftentimes, when I'm practicing, go to FD, but at the same time, I do practice on other stages. Again, for me in particular, because it's my job, and like me dropping combos equals me losing sets, I have the training mode mod and an Arduino and stuff like that to help me practice my combos outside of training mode. But you can still practice them, even if it's basic stuff, like Pikachu has this, right? Actually, it doesn't work at 0, so let me just switch. And you can, you know, test these things. And just see what people do. You can watch videos and see what people do, and then just emulate it, right? True combo. That one, I guess, isn't, because not quite the right percent yet. Oh, he tripped. You can also react to tripping, which is hilarious. But again, the biggest thing, and I know I mentioned this already, the biggest thing is just being comfortable with your character. And of course, this even goes to top level. There are some things that I still need to implement, so that's what I'm gonna practice right now. Something that is really important when you're practicing is understanding what you wanna practice. For example, as I showed, I don't really need to practice my instant reverse aerials because I'm very, very confident that I will get them when I need, because I've done it so many times. Like, I've done this since the beginning of Ultimate, right? So going in with a plan is very important, knowing what you need to improve on, just if it's movement, if it's a little bit of combos, if it's spacing, if it's just, the concept of, add a shield options and reacting and, making sure you get these inputs, because there was a time that I would only get up smash out of shield instead of up air, so then there were days where I literally just did this for 30 minutes, and then doing on smash on purpose so I know which one I'm doing. And that was it, right? There's a lot of times, just for an explanation, there's a lot of times off stage when I will get a Thunder, and it will send my opponents the wrong way. It'll send them towards the stage, because Pikachu, unlike Pichu, it just sends on whatever side of my body you're on, right? So like, this sends to the left, and this sends to the right, because he's on the right of me and he was on the left of me. But there is a way to maneuver your Thunder so that it is more likely to send your opponent out, which is basically, instead of just double jumping straight, like, the main way I do Thunder, which I get so many questions about this, so let me just answer again. I know I've said it in a different video, but how I do my Thunders when I'm falling is I just hold down, and then I just jump in special, because I'm holding down so there's no horizontal down and slightly towards the stage. I'm messing it up here. You'll jump very, very brief, or you'll jump a little bit towards the stage. If you do it too far, that will happen and you miss and die. So it's very important that you don't mess it up. Oh, I realize that I'm doing this on the side of me that I'm sitting, so I will do it on this side. So I want to do that. Exactly that one. That one was super good, where I'm moving slightly, in this case, to the left, and getting the Thunder, because if they DI in, it is more likely to send them out because my body's to the left. And then if they DI out, then sometimes it's just going to miss me and the spike is going to kill them. And this is really important because there'd be so many situations where I get extra kills that I end up messing up a lot. And it can lead to stocks and games and sets, right? Which is really, really good, and I have yet to implement this, even though I've known about this for months, because I'm not practicing it enough, because I've been unmotivated to practice outside of labbing combos, because, no offline. And I'm not going to get the stuff online anyway. So it's just... then you mess up and you die, and then you... when you jump that high, yeah, Jump Thunder's crazy. And you practice it. And you practice it until you're comfortable enough to even attempt it in a match. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you're not going to. Like, there are plenty of things, like with, let's say all the Steve stuff I've been labbing, if you did watch, like, my Steve highlights and stuff. There are plenty of combos where I'm like, I'm pretty comfortable doing this, and then I don't get it in a match for another 3 days. So, like, that happens. The other thing that I personally need to practice is the Invincibility Recoveries, the non-two-frameable recoveries. Because, as y'all know, there's a mechanic called two-framing, which basically when you grab the ledge, it's high and you're vulnerable. But there are angles for Pikachu where that was my first game of grabbing the ledge. So I need to practice that, because against characters like Bowser, against characters like Sonic, like there's plenty of characters that really like two-framing, like Sephiroth and Joker and stuff like that, where if I could master this recovery, everything gets way better in those matchups, because I'm not worried about things like Sonic's forward smash or Bowser's forward tilt. Like, this is just the stuff that I have to practice, right? So I'm doing it. And you have to not get frustrated, and if you're messing up, try to figure out why you're messing up, Like, for example, I need to use L for this, but if you're practicing attack canceling, even if I'm gonna get off Pikachu just a better example, because obviously Pikachu is my super comfort character. But like just a random character like Chrom. So if you're playing Chrom and you want to practice jab back airs and you're not doing it correctly, you need to understand why you're not doing it correctly, because if you're trying to do the same thing over and over and over again and you don't understand what's going to happen when you mess up, that's a problem. So of course you can do jab into the short hop back air, right? Like, that's a thing. Also, it'll kill a ledge, which is crazy. But also there's the full hop variant. Whoops, I messed up. Whoops. I'm not a Chrom player. There's the full hop variant, right? Where you don't get the short hop multiplier, and Jesus, K-roll's so heavy. Let me go to like 125. I know it'll work earlier, but I'm just doing this for my comfort. There we go. And I, of course, am good at understanding why my inputs are messing up. Like there, I didn't dash far enough. That I hit A too early. That one, I guess I was too slow because it didn't combo. That one was perfect. And you have to like understand what your mess ups are in order to fix them. That one I just didn't RAR. But like, this is just the thing you practice, right? And of course, if you're a little bit better, you can like practice things such as, you know, instead of just movement, it's like, oh, IDJs, right? Where, come on, there we go. But again, this is the type of thing you do, because especially as like Crom, like IDJs are very important. And like a lot of this time, it's like, hey, look up the video of how to IDJ. Because, you know, a lot of people with like techniques, it's like, hey, if you're doing it wrong, you'll get blank. Crom's hilarious. But anyway, I'm not good at it, so this is something that I would do for however long, right? Because I don't want, you know, 10 minutes of the video just be me fucking up IDJ. And of course, you can do things on other stages other than FD, but of course, that's just my main stage. But like, let's say you're a Mario main and you don't know the Yoshi's combos, right? You go to training mode and you pick Mario and you practice. And so you knock him down and then you do this. And you go, I don't know what to do if I grab them here. The answer is this, but whoops, not that, I messed up. And you just practice. This is what you do. And you just go, okay, well, I want to get this, and you practice it. Because you know that you want to get these kills, right? Damn, that sucks. Whoops. Woo, it killed. And then you practice it at 35. It's different, potentially. In this case, it's not, but because Yoshi specifically, but. Right. And then at higher percents, you learn the double jump version because it's different, right? And you practice these things and you know in your head what you want to get better at. And if you don't know what to get better at, then you need to be analyzing more of your games and understanding when you're messing up, because like no one can help you do that. I mean, they can give you suggestions, but like this is all you, right? You practice it. Because if you want to get that grab on Yoshi's, you want it to kill. If you're practicing combos, especially like things to kill, you should practice them at multiple percents, because that just seems correct. Then it's like, okay, well, you grab them in a different position, because not everything you're gonna get the same grab at the same place, right? So you grab them here, and you go, okay, cool. Whoops. I should have done double jump up here. Let me do that. And that's your combo, and you just learn. And like, of course, I'm good at seeing stuff, so you might not see it this quick, right? And that's fine. Whoops. Broken. So of course, the better you get, the more specific the things you're going to train for are. Like for me in particular, it's like, okay, cool, I want to practice this combo against this character with rage at this percent in this position on this stage, right? And like all of those things are important because in tournament, if you can get your combo, you know, that's a stock. Like if I could up air bridge, or if I, you know, hit a specific combo that I got versus Leo, like I got the position, I would have beat him at Genesis, and I messed up because I didn't practice it enough because it was still relatively new, whatever I was doing. So I messed up and I lost because of it, because I didn't end up, like I ended up not winning, and then he ended up winning that game later. But especially, of course, there's going to be differences depending on what character you play. Like there's a lot of labbing you can do with Mario and Pikachu and Steve and Mii Brawler and like the combo heavy characters. So when it comes to things like neutral or like traps, like let's say Snake. Like Snake, you're not really going to be practicing combos because he has like 3 in total, which is like grenade, nair. It's just like, okay, you did it. Let's go. But you can practice things like the Z-catch grenade. You can practice your beer verses. You can practice your turnarounds. You practice your wave bounces. You know, you practice the, I don't remember how to do the turnaround thing. If you want to practice parrying. I'm bad at it, apparently. And then practice your parry punches, you know? Practice doing what you need to do after the situation occurs, you know? And of course, those situations aren't necessarily going to be, you know, happening all the time, but still, something that helps. So you can practice your traps, you can practice your tech, you can practice even basic kill confirms, because things like even like Ike's nair up air, if you don't get it every time, your character gets significantly worse, you know? So you practice and you just do this. And it may seem boring, but stuff like this is what helps you get better, because the less worried about performing the technique you are when you're playing, the more brain power you can put into actually playing the game. You know what I'm saying? I hope that makes sense, because that's like a really important concept. Like, if you know that you can perform whatever combo you need to perform, when you get it, and when you get the opportunity, or when it comes up, you're not worried about, oh my god, I hope I get this, because you'll already know you can do it. And of course, you're gonna mess up. Everyone messes up. It's fine. Don't worry about that. Like, you know, if you practice something for 3 hours and then mess it up, it's not like, oh my god, all my practice was for nothing. It's like, no, you know, getting to 100% efficiency is just hard. You know? And of course, top players, because we know, like, we are just good at doing inputs, we can, you know, switch characters a lot easier than people that don't, because we know how to do, assuming we, like, understand the character. I know how to do nair up air, even without necessarily playing Ike a bunch, even though, you know, I was playing him for a while, so this is a bad example. But, like, you know, it's why top players like randoms will be so good, because we kind of already know, like, how to do things, unless it's a very character-specific thing, like, let's say Steve or Min Min, which are very different, or Mega Man, stuff like that. Like, that's why those are the characters that people will typically struggle on. But, like, this is just how you practice, and you think about your characters and what you want to do and what you want to practice. If it's movement, if it's getting the lowest possible aerials, so they're as safe as possible, whether it's hitting people and spacing away, whether it's recovering, whether it's advanced, like more advanced techniques, like anything, you know? Like if they do a jump side beam, you just do that, and they die. And you know, there's things like Slammer, which I swear to God I'm making a video about eventually, that you practice. And sometimes you just practice it for minutes at a time. It's whatever. I hope that helped. I hope that all makes sense. Y'all. Obviously, the characters with more tech and more, you know, weird stuff are going to be a little more fulfilling in training mode, because there's a lot to practice. Like Steve, oh my god, I could just sit in training mode with Steve for like 17 hours at a time and I would never get bored. So it's just really fun. So I hope that helped. If you want any specific guides, let me know. Again, I have a couple. I mentioned that I was going to be doing DI, or I have the DI video rather, like already like recorded, and then I have my frame data video that I'm gonna do, and then I'm starting with the Aegis, like I'm starting with all the DLC, at the very least DLC pack 2 for the guides. So let me know if you want me to go over any other character. I've seen Young Link a lot, I've seen Samus a lot. Obviously I already have my Pika guides, so if you want to check out the Pika guides, please, they will be in the card over there. Just let me know, and I will see you all next time.